What's up, peeps? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shauna May, and I'm back for another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. I went to the Juicy Seafood in Aurora, Colorado. I'm finally back home after my 2-week vacation. Had a great time, but I think I'm good on traveling for a minute. This was my first time traveling since the thingy thing happened, and it's been 2 years. We used to travel like 2 to 3 times a year, and it was rough. The last 2 days were rough. I'm definitely gonna get into that. But anywho, I got some food from the Juicy Seafood because I am Mexican food out. That's all I ate was tacos, burritos, carne asada fries. Southern California has the best Mexican food, and that's on, period. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, anywho, I am about to eat this seafood. I eat really messy. Anyways, I don't know why it changed. Okay. I got some lemon. So I got the number 4. I got 2 hard-boiled eggs, some crab, and some shrimp. There's a few potatoes and some corn. And I got it medium spice. This is my favorite meal. My favorite meal. So anywho, okay. So where should I start? Okay, so our trip was like served several purposes. One of it was for me to visit my family because that's where I'm from, Southern California. And I hadn't seen my family in 2 years, which is not normal. I usually go home 2 to 3 times a year. So I went out a week before my husband and stepdaughter came out so that I could spend time with them. We had a great time. Check out my videos. We did a lot of fun stuff. Riley got to hang out with her cousins. It was a lot of fun. I don't know, it really made me like put things into perspective. Ooh, it's spicy. And I really want my daughter to like grow up around her cousins and my mom, because I spent a lot of time with my mom, grandma growing up, and I don't know, thank God for FaceTime, so like she's familiar with everybody. But still, nothing beats being with your family, in my opinion. I have a great relationship with my family. So anywho, I spent some time in El Centro, and then we got my husband and stepdaughter from the airport, spent some time with my other family in North County, which is like Carlsbad or Oceanside. My aunt came down, got to hang out with both my aunts, Riley's great aunts. My other grandma, both of my grandmothers are still alive. One is 86 and the other one is like 82. So I'm really fortunate. I'm like uber fortunate. And then we went to Temecula, where we were there for 3 days for my stepdaughter's soccer ID camp. She's awesome, really good soccer player. She killed that. So let's get to Friday. So we stayed an extra 2 days so that my stepdaughter could enjoy, like, see San Diego. She came to work with her soccer stuff, but she really wanted to go to the beach, so we stayed an extra 2 days. Again, when you're from a place that has something like, again, I'm from California. I'm used to the beach. I do not care about the beach. I probably didn't go to the beach maybe like the last 10 years I lived in California. I never went to the beach because I didn't care. Every Sunday, like a bunch of people would meet up at Mission Beach and it'd be a party, but it wasn't even a party on the beach. It was at the basketball courts, and that was the extent of my beach time. But my daughter wanted to go to the beach for the first time. She saw it on some YouTube channel, so of course I had to take her. And my stepdaughter had only been to the beach once, and she really wanted to see some of San Diego. So me and my husband stayed another 2 days. want to call it a mistake, but this is when everything went to shit. Oh, we had checked out of our hotel on Friday, and we were just waiting around for our daughter to finish her last soccer games and stuff. Traffic is horrible, so my husband was already on edge, which I understand because we had to leave from Temecula all the way down to San Diego, and we knew we were gonna probably sit in traffic for at least an hour. And we had plans with my best friend, my sister, and her husband, my brother. So anyway, my husband was already on edge. It was like 100 and some odd degrees in Temecula, whatever. So we're sitting at the game, and I had just gotten the address to the Airbnb. Now, I'm gonna show you guys pictures of the Airbnb. It said Fashion Valley. It's near Fashion Valley, which is a super bougie, nice area. The Airbnb looked amazing, according to the pictures. So I'm just like, yeah, this is cool. Like, we'll just stay here, like, whatever, right? So my husband's like, give me the address of the Airbnb. I'm like, okay. I give him the address. He pulls it up. He was like, I know this ain't where we're staying. And I look, and I'm gonna use the word the hood, but I grew up in the hood. So I have no problem living in the hood as long as the house is nice and clean. I'm cool with that. My grandma's house in the hood, I spent so many summers there. I even went there after I graduated high school and I lived there. I have no problem with the hood. I just like, as long as it's a clean hood. That's it, that's all I care about. When my husband showed me the picture, he's like, I know this ain't where we're staying. And the house was pretty run down. And then there was a building behind the house, like an add-on. And he was like, I think this is where we're staying, and I think we're staying in that building in the back because it says 1.5. And I'm like, that's not true. So I'm like, let me look for myself. I pulled up the house, sure enough, it was that. Mind you, there are a lot of older parts of San Diego that are old, but they're like super exclusive, super expensive. Like, you really can't judge a book by its cover. You really can't when it comes to like real estate in San Diego. All right. So our daughter finishes her soccer game, and we head down to San Diego. The whole time I'm sitting there nervous because I just had this feeling something was about to happen. So traffic was cool, no problems. We get there. We get off the freeway to go to the house, and of course we see like some crackheads. We see some crackheads on the corner. I was like, oh God. Like, I already knew it. I already knew. We pull up to the house and I just start crying because I already know I had messed up. So my husband was like, this reminds me of Oak Cliff, Texas, which is where he grew up, and it's like the hood. Like, it's the hood for sure. Oh. We get the girls out. We walk into the house. There's a beetle on the door. Walk in the house, and again, so here's one apartment. This is the door to one apartment, and there was another one right here. And it wasn't even like a real apartment. It was like a structure that they made into 2 apartments, right? So well, that's bomb. I love me a good hard-boiled egg and a seafood boil. So my husband, so we walk upstairs. The carpet is dirty. It's hot as hell. I'm like, okay, well, you know, they're trying to save money. They ain't running the AC. The AC doesn't work. On my drive up, I'm like reading the reviews, which is like what I should have done in the first place. And I thought I did. And they were all pretty good. One of them said, only bad part about this place is the AC didn't work. And the host apologized and said it was getting fixed next week. And that review was like 3 months ago. So I'm starting to believe there was never any AC. So my husband's like, he mad. He was like, where's the AC? My 4-year-old, Mommy, it's so hot in here. I can't breathe, right? I'm just like, oh my God. Because it sucks when you know you messed up, but then you got to hear everybody's commentary on top of it. It makes it a million times worse. We go upstairs in the living room. There's no curtains on the windows, no blinds, no nothing. The posting had curtains, blinds, everything. There was none of that. So everybody could see straight into the house. There was no privacy. So at that point, I just go back in the room and I just start crying. I was crying. I called my mom. Mommy, I didn't know. I thought Linda Vista was nice. My mom said, well, I wouldn't leave your sister there by herself. And she's 24 or 25. She's like, it's pretty rough. And it was. I'm gonna start crying. So then I called my best friend and I'm like, look, girl, I know we had plans for dinner tonight, but I can't come because there's no way I'm leaving the girls here. There's no way. We couldn't stay there. But the last thing I was trying to do was spend $300 a night for a hotel. So I started looking for hotels because mind you, we're in San Diego and it's a Friday night. By the grace of God, I was able to use my government discount and I was able to get a room, a nice side room with 2 beds. The Hilton Bayfront, I was able to get it for $187 a night, which was huge. It was like literally, because I think those rooms were going for like $330 a night. So God has his back with me because it wasn't looking too good. And this is how I know I've grown up as a mother, because usually I'm really generous, but I'm learning to be less selfish. And at that moment, all I cared about was the kids. If it was just me and my husband staying there, then we could have just made it work. But there was no way I was gonna have my kids in there miserable and uncomfortable. And I just felt like a failure as a mother. We paid $500 to stay in that dump. And I'm like, man, I'm probably not gonna get our refund back, but oh well, like, we'll try. But this is like, everything was misleading. I looked down on the comforter. I'm gonna insert pictures of everything. The comforter was dirty. I told my husband, oh, and then my husband went outside and some cholos rolled by and they threw up gang signs at him. I was like, oh, I need my husband. Y'all not gonna shoot him up. Y'all tripping. So I was like, forget it. I'm gonna reach out to the owner, the host, see if we can cut a deal, but we gotta go. We left. We packed our car up real fast. We probably stayed a total of 15 minutes. Enough time for me to have a little breakdown. And I gotta do better, because when I get super overwhelmed, I just cry. And I think I had been in California a week longer than everybody else. So I was already ready to go home. So I was just tired. I was just crazy. Of course, traffic heading downtown to where our hotel was a mess because it was a Padres game, but whatever. All in all, we got checked in. We went to dinner with my bestie, her husband, my brother. I had a great time. I loved it. Good time. But I was ready to go home. Saturday, we did a beach day or a beach afternoon because I could only last at the beach for about 3 hours. unless it's like a family reunion or something. I'm not the kind of person to sit at the beach all day. That's just not me. So our flight was leaving at 6:30 Sunday morning, right? Girl, when I tell you me, I think my stepdaughter was ready to go too. When we came back from the beach, we packed up because I was not missing that flight. We needed to be up at 3 a.m. because just to drop off the car, and we didn't want no mishaps because we was all ready to go. We go to bed, wake up the next morning. I didn't even really sleep that hard because I refused to miss my flight. Not that my husband would, because he don't play, but I hardly slept. I could not wait to leave. So we flew Southwest. Never again. Southwest is the worst. You might get some free bags, but you compromise in service. So we drop the car off and get to the airport, you know, whatever. We get to the airport, it's like 4:30, right? So we on time. It's probably more like 4:15. I always fly Frontier. The only reason why I didn't do Frontier this time is because we had a lot of bags and I didn't want to pay for a bunch of bags. That's my fault for being cheap. But my point, there's still some kind of like, is it focus? It's to go to San Diego, and I live in Denver. Usually I can get 3 plane tickets for like $500 at the most. And that's pushing it. So I spent a lot of money on those plane tickets. So anyways, we go to like check in our bags or whatever. There's already a line. I'm like, what the hell? So the Southwest in San Diego, they don't, the San Diego International, so the Southwest at the San Diego International Airport, they don't come on until 5 a.m. Which confuses me because if the flight leaves at 6:30 and y'all tell us to be there 2 hours ahead of time, why y'all ain't got these kiosks going, you know? So we're standing there, we got all kind of baggage, a car seat, whatever, right? And we weren't in the front of the line, but we weren't in the back. We were like in the middle. So finally the dude gets up. Southwest is so rude. Basically they're saying you're on your own, print off your own tag your own bags, and bring it up here. And we're gonna turn on the kiosk. This is like at 4:50. So they turn on my kiosk, I go get our stuff. And we got a bunch of tags. We have about 6 bags and a car seat. My husband moves our stuff out of line to tag the bags. I think he thought once you tagged your bag, you didn't have to get back in line to go drop your stuff off. But basically, we lost our place in line. By this point, the line has doubled, right? So it's even farther down the little area. Y'all, I felt tears welling up in my eyes. I'm like, all right, we go back and get back in line. Right, I'm just like, fuck it. My husband goes outside to the sky cap, and he was like, yeah, babe. Yeah, I'll make you a pasta. Yeah, I'll make you some in a minute. I'll make you some in a minute, okay?
It's in the bag.
The pasta? I have to cook it. It won't take long.
It's in the bag.
Yeah, it won't take long. So my husband goes outside to the Southwest Sky Cap. There's a line out there too. He waits in line. He's like, y'all just come out here. Now the line was moving medium, so we had moved up. My husband's like, just come outside and let's just do it this way and we'll tip him. I'm like, all right, cool. Herman told me to keep my ass in the line. I go outside, we wait in another line, get to the front. These fools say, oh, we can't check your bags in because you already checked in online. Or checked in inside. These fools say, we can't check you in because, or we can't take your bags because you already checked in inside. But isn't all of it going to the same place? Like, I'm not understanding. So we waited outside for nothing. Y'all, I wish I took a video. By the time I got back inside to wait in the line for the third time, it had tripled or quadrupled down. It was so long. And at this point, it was probably like 5 a.m. It was probably like 5 a.m. No, it was probably like 5:15. By the time it was 5:15, it had tripled. If we had to wait in that line, there's no way we would have made it. There's no way. There's no way. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna miss this flight. I started crying, y'all. But my husband big, but he a gangster. I don't know how he did it, but he deboed his way to the front of the line, and this kind brother let us go. He was like, hey, do you mind? Like, and then he was like, you know what, brother, go ahead. You got your family. I get it. And that kind brother, he was a good Samaritan. He had our back, because if we had to wait in that line, we wasn't gonna make it at all. I mean, everything else was cool. Like, we got through TSA and whatever, but still, like, why? Y'all planes don't need to take off until Southwest planes. If y'all not gonna be there until 5, if y'all not opening the kiosk till 5, then your planes don't need to leave until about 8 o'clock. Cause that math ain't adding up. Y'all tell us to be there 2 hours ahead of time, but hell, y'all still at the house getting dressed. So anyway, we got on the plane, we came home, and everything else was pretty smooth. So what did I learn from this trip? I think I'm pretty good on Airbnbs. Like, I've done 2 Airbnbs prior to this, and they were cool. One in Atlanta with my best friend, and another in Venice Beach with another one of my best friends. Both of those places were cool, no problem. This was my first like horrible Airbnb experience, and honestly, I about paid the same amount staying at the Hilton. And yeah, like, you're not able to cook or whatever, you don't have as much space, but it was convenient, it was safe, it was nice, it was clean, and we just made it work. So I don't know, right now I'm kind of jaded with Airbnbs. Like, I'm cool. I'm not crazy about them. I did tell the host, I'm like, look, so when we were driving downtown to check into the hotel, I'm like, look, sir, I appreciate the communication. However, there was just way too many issues. I sent him pictures. I'm like, due to what's going on in the world, we can't take a chance with a dirty place. So I will be requesting a refund from Airbnb. He was like, no, I'll give you a full refund. I'm like, okay, cool. If you give me a full refund, I won't post a review or reach out to Airbnb, because it was a new listing. So, and they didn't have that many reviews. I'm not trying to sabotage anybody. I just want to make sure my family is taken care of and safe and comfortable. That's all I care about. So I waited till the next day. So I've had a refund processed on Airbnb before, and it's immediate. I mean, the money doesn't pop up immediately, but you get a notification. So dude was like, oh, okay, I'm processing it right now. I'm like, okay, cool. No notification. Saturday, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to see what the process was. He was like, oh, you should be getting a notification here in a couple hours. Cool. No notification. Sunday, still no notification. So I had to go on there, request a refund, and I only got half of my money. And I guess at the end of the day, so I had to request a refund from him, and which shows he was lying, because he said he had already processed it. But anywho, I requested a refund from him. They took out fees and some other stuff, so I only ended up with about half of my money, which actually was fine. Like, it was really fine, because at least I got something back. And for me, it was just a learning lesson. Like, if they put the address in ahead of time, then I think they have to put the addresses in now. I'm not sure what the whole process is, but I think once you pay, you get the address. Go research, go look at that, and just do your homework, especially if you have a family, if you're by yourself too, because you don't want to be in a sketchy situation. And I heard a lot of like people, they're not really doing Airbnb no more because of situations like this. Like, I had my family. What if I didn't have an extra $600 just laying around to spend on a hotel? We would have had to make the most of it, and I already know it would have been horrible. So I think I'm pretty good on Airbnb, and that's just kind of jaded my experience. Also with Southwest, I will say Southwest planes are big, they're comfortable, you have mad space, whatever. Just do not do a Southwest flight if you're leaving early in the morning because their ticket counter isn't open. And they're kind of ghetto. Like, they don't say like, hey, get your stuff, go back in line. There's like no instruction unless like you fly with them, and I don't. So it was a horrible experience. Shame on you, Southwest. And that's that. So I'm almost done with this. With seafood, I love eating it, but then I kind of get tired of it after like a little bit. But I enjoyed eating with you guys for my first mukbang. Let me know if you want more stories. I have a ton of stories. It just depends on like what you want to talk about. I'm gonna knock this out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.